Ooh, whew. Hello. It's been, I don't even know how long since my last video, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video. I do plan on talking about some of it, maybe. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about pride. Honestly, I've been in such a wormhole of time loss that it didn't even hit me that it was Pride Month until maybe the second or third day. And I was like, oh shit, it's June. We here. It is time for us queers to rise. And Pride is a time of celebration, which I think a lot of us definitely could use right now. But I also wanted to talk about why I fucking hate Pride, because if there's one thing a bitch is gonna do, a bitch is gonna complain, you feel me? So, hi everyone, my name is Happy Black Legends, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Yes. So, why I hate Pride. First of all, I don't hate Pride because I'm home on the phobia, okay? That is not the reason. I reside under the rainbow, okay? I like the terms pansexual and queer to describe what's going on over here. But, yeah, so that's me. Yep, that's me. Anyways, and I think my first ever Pride, I felt so free. I had so much fun. I just had graduated high school. I was just on the top of the world. I just really felt like a bad bitch. And I think that Pride, provides a sense of community, which is really important, especially for a lot of us queer folks, sort of chosen family syndrome kind of thing. But I also think that Pride is really, it's just a really messy situation. Number one, the first reason, this is not an organized video, and anyway, this is just gonna be me rambling. This is a total throwback to my old content. But anyways, the first reason I hate Pride is sort of the corporate panhandling. I don't even know if that's the correct term, but just corporations slapping a rainbow on their logo and going give us your money, you dirty queer. That's just what it feels like. And it's kind of okay, it's just gross. And I get that you need sponsors a lot of time to hold events, but it's not just about Pride as an event. It's during the entire month of Pride, especially apparel companies, they're the worst. Disney, a few years ago, I think was probably one of the most annoying companies when it came to Pride. All of their Pride merchandise, maybe that's because I live in SoCal and I just have to deal with that a lot, but Disney really they come out the gate with a lot of this Mickey loves homo bullshit, and it's just really annoying. It's disingenuous too. It's okay, now that being queer is profitable, y'all are showing up, come on now. We're not interested. The second reason that I kind of hate Pride is it becomes a party for heterosexual white women to get drunk and grind on their boyfriends and to have fun with twinks. That's really what it becomes in a lot of situations. And like I said, I think that Pride should be a celebration for queer folks, not you hetties. Obviously, I'm not one of those people that's heterosexuals can't come to Pride ever. I've met people like that. I don't agree with that thinking and that ideology, but I also think it's kind of know your place. Know your place, read the room, and don't just take Pride as a party. It's deeper than that. It's so many queer folks died. Like, so many queer children do not survive their adolescence. Like, so many queer ancestors aren't here because of persecution, because of the AIDS crisis. Just, there's so many reasons. And it's like, it's just really disrespect. Like, I think the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've mentioned this on my channel before about how San Francisco Pride kind of changed me. Like, San Francisco Pride was my second Pride ever, and it was way too much. I definitely should not have done that. I should have eased my way up. Like, I should have gone from, like, my first Pride to, like Long Beach, LA, and then San Francisco. I should not have just come out of the gates like that. But I just remember there was, like, these drag queens were, like, performing this reenactment of Stonewall, and, like, all these people were, like, talking while they were doing that. And I think that was, like, another moment that, like, honestly, all of these things that I'm talking about happened at San Francisco Pride, okay? Like, SF Pride was just anyways, so I just thought that was so disrespectful. And I just think, like, if you're gonna go to Pride, you can party and have fun, that's great, but also, like, maybe support queer artists, like, buy queer, like a lot of times there's vendors, buy their merchandise, buy their art, buy their jewelry, listen to queer people, be an ally. Like, don't just get drunk and get high and be stupid and do, like, rainbow eyeshadow. Speaking of eyeshadow, I did my makeup. I'm pretty sure it looks like shit, but I'm experimenting. I'm going through a metamorphosis. We're doing some fun things. But anyways, that's, like, the second reason I hate Pride. The third reason I hate Pride, this is kind of complicated, okay? Because I do not agree that kids shouldn't be allowed at Pride. I do not think that Pride is inherently inappropriate. However, after experiencing the sort of lax nudity rules that San Francisco has, and after seeing things that I really didn't need to see, okay, I absolutely had no desire to see any of it. I understand why a conversation about child involved, minor involvement at Pride is questionable, because some of you are freaks, okay? And some of y'all do freaky things, and you do it in public without people's consent, and that is not okay. And we can go back and forth. Like, on one hand, I think that, like, kinky queer folks should have a space to be allowed to do that. And a lot of times at Prides, there's, like, 18 or older tents or 21 and older year old tents where you have to be of a certain age to enter, and there you can sort of do things that maybe you couldn't do in other spaces. Like, that's cool, and I think those should continue to exist. But I mean, the things I saw at SF Pride, and there were children present, like, there were children walking around, and I was just like, this is not okay. And the things that I saw at SF Pride, like yeah, so I have mixed feelings about children attending Pride after experiencing SF Pride, but I do think, like, on one hand, queer people should definitely have the space to, everyone should have the space to express themselves freely sexually. Like, I support that fully. But also, you're doing it without the consent of others, and that's not cool, you know? So, San Francisco is really, for those of you guys who are not from America, because a lot of my viewers are not from America, San Francisco is, like, one of the gayest cities in the world. It was, like, a safe haven for queer people for a very long time, and queer people have survived and thrived there for a really long time. And so, like, SF Pride isn't just like a normal like pride celebration in everyone's city. It's like a huge thing. Like Google Maps literally changes all the streets to like rainbow, and just like it's just crazy. Cause like every other month of the year, San Francisco is pretty gay. So like you slap Pride Month on top of an already pretty gay situation, and you just get like gay on gay on gay. Like it is a lot. So, like, at my first Pride, there were people walking around in, like, kink gear, and I saw, like, a dog, like, not a dog, like a bark dog, but, like, a human dog. It wasn't really, I wouldn't call that person a furry, because it's not really what it was. I think it was, like, pet play. I think that's honestly what it was. But, I saw things, but, like, it was a lot more tame than, like, actual, literal, naked people walking around. Or like people yeah. Anyways, another reason why I hate Pride, and this might not be a super popular thing. How do I say this? I feel like so many queer people are hurt. And I feel like a lot of us have mental illnesses. And how do I say this? I don't know how to say this. I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I feel like when you gather a group of people who need healing into one space, it can be a very beautiful thing, but it can also be a very toxic thing. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes people cope in toxic ways. And I feel like there's this like push to like get drunk at Pride. And maybe it's just because it's a party. I don't know. Like I don't drink a lot as it is, so maybe I'm just like totally just whoosh. But I feel like it's just really odd. And also going off the toxicity thing, another reason why I kind of hate Pride is all of the queer, like, inner fighting, inner community discourse. Like, queer politics and queer discourse, honest to motherfucking God. Like, when I was, like, 13, literally 13, and like I would say from like 13 to like 16, I used to heavily engage in like queer discourse, especially on Tumblr. And as I matured and aged, I just realized like at the end of the day, I am many things, okay? I am a minority in many ways, and you're either gonna accept me or not. And instead of arguing about why you should accept me, I'ma just do me and you can do you. And as for arguing on like other people's identities, I don't see the point. You just sound like a homophobe. You sound ridiculous. You sound like a hypocrite. And I don't like you, and you're stinky. And I just don't see the point. Maybe this is just how I am. Like, this is just like how I am in a lot of things. I just feel like we're always stronger together than we are apart. And a lot of times I think queer discourse is so stupid, and it's such a distraction from the bigger issue, and that is heteronormativity and just the heterosexual culture that we live in. It's not about the pronouns that someone uses, or it's not whether or not asexual people deserve to be respected. Like, why are we even having that conversation? Like, if you think that I'm transphobic because I'm pansexual, there's not much that I can say to change your mind. That's your opinion. I'm not going to spend like hours typing angrily at a keyboard defending my like sexuality and my personhood. I just don't see the point. And I did that for like years. And sometimes when you go to Pride, like these fights, like it's almost like gang fights. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, especially at SF Pride, oh my God, I saw like TERFs arguing with like trans people and just like cis lesbians and just like cis women who are attracted to other women. Like it was just such a mess. That was during the D March in SF. And then like you had people like making fun of like asexual flags, and then I definitely saw some bipan discourse, and it was just like, is this really escaping past the keyboard? Like, are we really taking this from tumblr.com to the real world? Like, is this what we're doing? Are you serious right now? Are you kidding me right now? Like, come on. Ugh, I don't have the time or patience for it. I really don't. And I think queer discourse is so stupid, and it's so funny because like I think like last year, like 2019, I would say more so than 2020, like I noticed on Twitter that there was this like resurgence happening in like queer discourse arguments that have literally been going on for like a decade now at this point. And I was like, have we not all moved past this? And I have like so many queer terms like blocked on Twitter and Tumblr because I can't take it anymore. I really can't. I'm not going to argue with you about like, it's so stupid. Like, I'd rather just live my life and eat tofu dogs. Like, what are we doing? Anyways, this was really just a time for me to bitch about something because, like, this is so stupid, but because, like, I don't know. Like, on one hand, you know, after Rona and everything we've been through, I was thinking, like, how fun it would be to, like, go to Pride and, like, get all dressed up with my friends. Like, because all my friends are pretty much queer. Like, most of my friends are queer. And just, like, go and have some fun. And then, like, the more I thought about Pride and just the more I thought about the things I've seen and experienced, the more I was like, I'd rather just hang out at someone's house and blast, like, disco music than actually go to Pride. Like, perhaps. Like, perhaps that is not what I'll be doing, actually. Like, that's just kind of how I felt about it. And then that's when I got the inspiration to make this video. So, there you go. Have you ever been to Pride? Do you disagree? Do you agree with me? What are the prides like in your city, in your town? I know that for, unfortunately, a lot of people, Pride isn't even something that's allowed. So, you know, in a way, it's very privileged of me to be able to even go to a Pride and to have access to something like that. And I definitely don't take for granted the queer community that I've developed and all of my queer friends. Like, I do not take that for granted. All the commercialization and the, like, binge drinking and the, like, transphobia, biphobia, like, mess. It's just too much. It's just way too much. And I have bigger soy fish to fry, okay? Like, I just don't want to do it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Again, I know it's been so long since I've uploaded a video. Honestly, you guys, I think what happened, and I'm going to talk about this more in another video, but like the month of March was so intense, and I don't think it hit me until like May. And I think I was running on like adrenaline and like just this untapped source of energy, and all of May I was so tired. And you know, like, I've been working and I've moved twice this year, and it just really took a toll on like my emotional and physical health. Y'all know that I've talked about this briefly, but I was like literally living in a meth house, like fearing for my life for a few days. It was just a mess, and I feel like I didn't give myself time to like go through that, because I was just like, I have to move out, I have to work, I have to hustle, and I have to pay rent and just move and get into a better situation. And now that I'm in a better situation, it's time to like address my feelings, you know? And I feel like once May was over, I feel like June I feel revitalized. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I sound like a crazy person, but what I'm trying to say is I was just really tired. That's really all it is. I was just exhausted, okay? And I've been working so much trying to make sure that I can afford to pay rent, and I realized like a few days ago that I have to do things to take care of myself, and I have to take time for myself. And that includes doing things that I love, like my YouTube channel, you know, like having fun with my friends, things like that. And so I've been definitely balancing work and my other interest a lot better lately, and I'm really proud of myself. But woo, ciao. Anyways, so if you got this far, thank you for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I would also like to give a huge thank you to my patrons and my YouTube members. Even though I haven't uploaded publicly in like a month, my YouTube members and my patrons have had access to a few uploads here and there. So if you are interested in some content that I haven't yet posted and may never post publicly, the link to become a member of my channel or a patron is down below. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter because I'm pretty and funny and I would like more validation. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys for still supporting me. This is probably like the longest I've gone without publicly posting, and it's just, I've felt so guilty about it, and I just don't like this feeling, so I don't want this to happen again. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, y'all. Bye.